Jujutsu Kaisen.
Hey, I'm good up on my slow ass iPad.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna hand over the reins to Josh. He's gonna take over recap duty this week. Very excited. So let's get into it. Josh, take us away.
All right, so we are on. Thank God the chapter was on the second page. Chapter 188, Tokyo number 2 Colony Part 7. Or as I like to say, alternate title, Electric Boy Gets Busy. Okay. We start the chapter. All right. What happened in the last chapter? We had Kashimo coming to terms with the fact that he's going to have to fight against an invincible god for 4 minutes and 11 seconds, I believe the time was, or something like that.
Yeah. And possibly in perpetuity.
Yes. He was game. He was very ready, and he was so ready that it spurred an a mini past, what do you call that? Flashback. Where we realized that, in the past, his total motivation is to just win at fights. That's it. That's all he wants to do. There you go. That's why he's looking for Sukuna. Okay, moving forward. At the beginning of this chapter, we get the lyrics to this song called "Admiring You" by Eita Tairakuru. Tairakuru.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, there we go. Lyrics and music by her. Yeah, she writes her own shit. That's what's up. Okay. I'm gonna read the whole thing to y'all. You always exaggerate. The local udon noodles aren't as tasty as you say. The neighborhood dog isn't as big as you say. And I'm not as cute as you say. When you vowed to hate me forever, you were exaggerating to the end. But it might actually be true. Each night in the bath, I think of that moment. And 8 years ago, and your verbal slip. Ooh, what a hairy back. Papaya, papaya. What a hairy back. Papaya, papaya, papaya. Ooh. Okay. Everyone always exaggerates, like even if you don't find love, lose that hair, or change jobs, things will work out. But what if they don't? Question mark. Sometimes I also exaggerate, like I don't worry about my makeup and fake tears relieve the pain. Now I'm getting off at the next station. ... Alone.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not read this song at all.
I did. I read the whole thing because I thought it was some type of foreshadowing. Guess what, everybody? It wasn't.
Well, I don't know.
Need to make sure y'all time. What?
Maybe the foreshadowing has yet to come.
It probably is. Yeah, they did mention the next station, and maybe that's part of this guy's Rishi. Whatever. Let's get into the chapter. So, even though your boy,
Kashimo.
I don't remember.
Hikari?
Thank you. No, not Hikari.
Kashimo.
Electric Man. Yeah. Even though Kashimo was very confident, we begin the chapter with him hauling ass because he knows what time it is. I mean, you got to get some space. And Hikari says, you know what? Instead of catching up to you, I'm just going to punch this big fucking iron storage unit. And they have a game of tennis with the storage unit. Really intense. That's the shit you love to see,
Oh my God.
They go back and forth to the point that they break it down. And,
they E-Honda it. They go...
I'm sorry?
They go E-Honda on it. They just go...
Yeah, like it go bang, 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 bang. Like they get closer and closer until it turns into, I guess, iron dust.
Yes.
Hikari goes for, I guess, a hook, a mean hook. Of course, Kashimo dodges swiftly, kicks him in the head, and pieces him up with one of the straps of a iron container unit.
Yikes.
And then we get a little monologue in his head where he's saying like, yeah, man, I know about curse energy and where it comes from, but if I take your head off, you ain't gonna be able to, revive that easily. Actually, I think he said you won't be able to revive at all. So he figures if I shoot my lightning bolt at his head and bust his shit open, I should win, even if he's in invincible god mode. See, he had a plan. You know what I mean? He wasn't just like, man, fuck it, I'm ready to die. I like that he did have an idea and wasn't just being a dickhead. So yeah, he decides to shoot lightning at Hikari's head, and we get one of the weirdest sequences in manga that I've ever watched. His head doesn't even blow up from the lightning. It like regenerates so fast, and he shoots out the excess cursed energy from his nose.
Yeah.
Like fucking Popeye. I didn't get that, but it was incredible.
Yeah, so I think what it is that he took the electric shock, and while he was healing, he also got rid of the electric shock through his eyes and nose. Like he just kicked it out. He said,
Kashimo's stunned. Like he's not mad at nothing, but he's genuinely admired.
Yeah,
he admires this. You can see he's like, wow.
Yeah,
I can't believe it. So Hikari proceeds to give in Kashimo that close combat work. Kashimo's thinking, shit, what am I gonna do? He's getting faster. You know what I mean? Hikari's, I guess, starting to fight like a little bit more recklessly. Like he's just running into attacks and trading with him since the damage doesn't matter. Which I thought he should have did in the first place, but I guess what's the fun in that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I guess he starts to get a little bit more desperate because as Hikari explains as we hear in a few, panels that his curse, his effect of invulnerability is about to run out in a few seconds. So, shit's getting critical, but Kashimo has another ace up his sleeve. And I had to watch it. I had to think about this a little bit longer than I care to admit. But check this out, guys. So, Kashimo uses his sword from earlier as like a lightning rod. You know what I mean? Just to create like a current, and he lines up Hikari. So he could have did this at a lot of different points, but this was like, you could see like this was like his secret surprise, like, trap card type shit.
I activate my trap card.
Yeah. And apparently like right as his curse technique like ran out, he got hit with this the sneak attack. And Hikari's like hurt. He's hurt. There's a whole hole in his chest, kind of like Endeavor, but worse. Dude. His torso looks like a C. Is that doing it for y'all? If I didn't read it, I hope so.
It's like if somebody took out a C-shaped chunk out of his abdomen.
Yeah, that was what the lightning did. It didn't blow his body up, thank God. He beat him. He beat him in invulnerable mode, bro. That's what happened with Kashimo. He looks at him for a moment and says, it's over. As we see that Hikari's round ended at that same moment he got hit. But Hikari hits his domain expansion and activates Idle Death Gamble. Was that the name of the ability before?
Yeah.
Okay, that was always the name, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like Idle Alive Gamble?
No, it's Idle... No, it's not Idle Alive Gamble. It's
right
Idle
now, because
Death.
It's dead now? Okay.
No. Dude.
There was this moment when when he was fighting, this little angel pops up and says death. Right when his head is about to explode.
Yeah.
No, so I was like, maybe that was like a little...
No, it's Idle Death Gamble.
A slight foreshadow?
Nope.
Okay, little tease, no? Okay. Well, yeah.
No,
that was Jujutsu Kaisen. Very fast-paced, quick chapter. What'd I say? Electric Boy got busy.
Mm-hmm.
But Hikari's luck-based, so what you gonna do about it?
Crazy. With his dying breath, he said domain expansion.
He activates Graceful Charity.
Dude, I'd be so tight. He's just like, fuck, really, bro? But honestly, I'll start with my thoughts. First of all, I want to congratulate you. Great job recapping.
Whoa, thank you.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, that was Jujutsu Kaisen. My thoughts are pretty great. I mean, it's just a straight up fight the whole way through. I did not see that coming with the lightning rod at the end. Pretty smart move, TBH.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense to.
I actually want to go back a chapter to see if he had put it in the ground on it by himself. I'll be, go ahead.
Yeah, go for it. I mean,
First.
it's just that Jujutsu Kaisen goodness. That fucking part where they're just punching the storage unit until it's dust was so fucking cool. I love that shit, man. But yeah, such a great chapter. So fun to read. It's just, peak Jujutsu Kaisen. It's just a fun fight between two characters who are just like giving it their all and just being interesting and having interesting powers. Hikari being a damn tank. That little angel where it says death, that was actually Hikari about to die, and then he saved himself last minute by expelling the cursed energy through.
Oh, that was like the death screen, like, oh, you died.
Yeah.
like in a game.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was about to happen.
Dude, Kashimo's giving Hikari that work. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Yeah.
He didn't get lucky. Come on. Maybe there's another layer to this. Maybe there's something more.
Well, Hikari's domain forces him to fight recklessly at all times because he is constantly put in a position where he's immortal, and he has to be so fast to activate his domain to not be immediately killed the second that his immortality falls out. So, he has to be his domain is very much geared towards his personality, being a gambler and all that stuff. Or maybe his domain informs his personality. Maybe the reason he is the way he is because his innate domain is just forcing him to be a person who's very used to taking risks and flying by the seat of his pants and really just not really worrying about figuring shit out because things will work out because he knows he's very lucky. He knows how to game his own system. So I respect that about Hikari. It's really fun to watch him fight. Now that we understand his domain expansion to such a degree, it's been a fucking fun ride. But those are all my thoughts. Great chapter. I'm gonna pass it over to Brian. Brian, what did you think about Jujutsu Kaisen this week?
This chapter was a very close second for me.
Yeah.
It was really, really hard to choose. My Hero slightly edged it out because of the more, emotional factors to it, but this one definitely had the hype. It definitely brought the fucking hype. Hikari still doesn't fucking disappoint. The fight is really fucking cool right now, but I really enjoy how Hikari is just such a good character, man. He's so electric when he's in a fucking page. He's always, scrapping. He's trying to fucking do some cool shit. His personality is always really cool. I fucking love Hikari. But I have a question. Does he have several domains? Is Idle Death because Idle Death Gambit is a different domain expansion, right?
No. It's Idle Death Gamble. That's his domain.
Oh, so wait, how does he...
Part of him getting the jackpot allows him to continuously open his domain for as long as he gets jackpots.
Yeah, but his jackpot ran out, no? Did he just strike another jackpot? It didn't say he got another jackpot.
The jackpot gives him immortality for 4 minutes and 11 seconds, and at the end of those 4 minutes and 11 seconds, he's able to open his domain again. It just is a recycling. It's a cycle until he loses. And he's never made it past 30, so that means he can do this to up about 30 times.
But he could still die in the domain, and he lost a chunk of his torso, so...
Well, it's assumed that once his domain is activated, he's fine. But that's my assumption.
I thought the thing was he's only immortal during the jackpot, but once he's in the domain doesn't make him immortal. It's not the domain that makes him immortal, it's only the jackpot.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see, because I think they're going to explain more into that. That's my guess, honestly, is that if he can make it to his domain before he dies, his domain refreshes him, and that doesn't make him unkillable, but it saves his life, basically. And then he has to ward off Kashimo inside the domain as well.
Yeah, and also he still has to figure out Kashimo because this guy is really fucking skilled. Of course, he's an ancient sorcerer and shit. And he's really elite. Like compared to other ancient sorcerers, this guy is like next level.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this guy knows what the fuck he's doing. And he's constantly keeping the pressure up. He's constantly being unpredictable, and he's really lethal. Like this guy has very like killer instinct, and it's really dangerous. If this was anybody else, I feel like they lose. Even Itadori might lose against this guy. So Hikari really has to take this guy out before he finds him. Because I don't know, I feel like he might be like the strongest at the moment, like one of the strongest people like these guys have faced. So
I agree.
Hikari has to really take this guy down before it's too late.
Yeah, it's built up that, from the very start, he was one of the only two people who had 100 points. It was him and Higuruma, who had like 100 points right off the bat. So,
and Higuruma killed a lot of regular people too.
I think so.
So,
but yeah, that's what's implied there. But yeah, no, you're right, Brian. He still has to figure out Kashimo. But I think like part of the thing about Hikari's domain is that it really frustrates people because he keeps getting ones up, and like it's hard to do this, like to keep fighting to the death. Because really,
stay focused.
Yeah,
and not make mistakes.
Yeah, because then it becomes like kind of a game of attrition. Because Kashimo doesn't get refreshed every time this domain happens, so he has to keep fighting on his own stamina. Where Hikari seems to get renewed every time, and it's almost like he's fighting new every single time. So I think that's part of it too. At some point, like Kashimo will just Hikari will just continuously buy himself time to get his enemy to slip up. Because you're going to make a mistake the longer you fight this guy. But, yeah, man, such a great chapter. I don't have much other thoughts anymore from you guys.
Nah. Yeah, I did it pretty well, and I said a lot of what I had to say during the recap, I guess. Kashimo's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think he's just going for the domain expansion. I mean, because it's, why not? He has to. He's dying.
Yeah.
Hopefully he gets lucky and survives.
Mm.
I'm nervous for Okotu to face Kashimo. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he might be able to copy his electric move, but he ain't gonna be able to use it as good as Kashimo.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy's probably, I don't know who's stronger, not the Sky Lady, not Bushigoro Candyman. He's saying, listen, them blasts is powerful, but he can't do nothing about that lightning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.